Hi, my name is Lindsey Jennings, and I am the new Scream Queen to die for. I have a bunch of horror tattoos, as you can see. I'm obsessed with Chucky. Child's Play was one of my favorite movies as a child. I'm terrified of Chucky, but now I love him. I was extremely terrified as a child, and now it's like overcoming your fears, you know? I have the Death Head Hawk Moth, which is kind of like cover of Silence of the Lambs. I have the Death Head Hawk Moth in my ears. I've got Chucky in my ears. I've got this clown here, because clowns are fucking terrifying too. And It is a classic. I've got my little bones, because everybody buys me these kinds of presents where they're like horrific kind of awesome things that a normal person wouldn't wear. I've got my zombie pony, my Child's Play shoes. We got the good guy on this side. Somebody made these custom for me too, as a gift. And we've got Chucky on the other side. Charles Lee Ray. Wanna play? And somebody thought they could fuck with me, and they slashed my face, and they thought that I wouldn't come back for vengeance, but I'm coming back, and I will spit on your fucking grave. Is that okay?
Great.
I'm just like throwing shit out there. Should I talk about my favorite horror movies?
Let's do the 8 films to die for, and then that.
Okay. 8 films to die for. In theaters and on digital HT, October 16th, 2015. It's worth the scream.
That was awesome.
Cool.
Yes, talk about your favorite horror movies.
Okay, so my number one favorite horror movie, which I tend to love the campy side of horror. Am I allowed to look at you
yeah,
too?
You can look at me.
Okay, because I'm like,
yeah.
it feels more.
Yeah, look at me, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm more on like the campy side of horror. I do love like really like demonic, scary movies too, but I love like Child's Play. You know, I was terrified of Chucky when I was a child, so I had to get him tattooed. I feel like Edward Scissorhands is kind of horror in a way, but not really. But that was my favorite movie since I was 2. I wasn't afraid of it though. I loved Edward. Last House on the Left. Have you seen it? Last House on the Left is like my favorite horror movie because it's like another like revenge kind of thing. I love the like victim revenge kind of stories like Last House on the Left and I Spit on Your Grave are like classics, and I love the old versions, and then they made newer versions like Wes Craven made them, you know, super campy in the 70s and then remade them in the 90s, and they're so like legit and terrifying. I love it.
That's great. Tell me about is that like a bathing suit or a shirt? What is this?
It's a bodysuit. I guess it is a bathing suit. It's just an American Psycho bodysuit. I love American Psycho too. I wouldn't really consider that necessarily horror. It's kind of like a comedy in a way, right? Like a horror comedy. I don't know.
Like a horror satire?
Horror satire, and I love horror satire. I almost feel like Child's Play is in a way too, but Child's Play is fucking terrifying too, you know? But the newer Child's Play movies, like Seed of Chucky and Bride of Chucky, are definitely way more campy and cheesy, but I like the original 3 more. But American Psycho is still, I don't know, it's not really scary to me, but I just love it. I love the whole idea, and like, you never know if it's like in his mind or not. I like psychological horror too.
Yeah. Would you be more of a villain or a victim in a horror movie?
I think I like to play the vengeful victim. So like I Spit on Your Grave, you know, she gets raped by 4 dudes, and then she goes back and kills them all in the most like horrific, grotesque ways, and I love that. Or in Last House on the Left, basically this girl gets raped, her friend gets killed, and she gets shot, and her parents find her, and these guys the people who did it to her end up getting into a car accident. And they go to her house not knowing that it's her parents' house. Her parents find her and they're like, what the fuck? They figure it out. And so then they get vengeance on these people who are staying in their guest house who they like gave hospitality to in like a storm or whatever. It's so amazing. So the best part is when, especially in the new one with Aaron Paul. Anybody here seen it? I'm like, Aaron Paul, you know, from Breaking Bad. She puts his hand in the garbage disposal and turns it on and then like smashes him over the head with the bottle. It's so sick. I love that.
It's
disgusting stuff.
It's like girl power horror movie.
Girl power, yeah, probably. But I mean, her dad helps in that too, so it's not necessarily all girl power. You know, it's like the parents get vengeance on these murderers.
Yeah.
So any kind of vengeance, I think, or like, there's a Korean movie called I Saw the Devil. It's more of like a thriller type horror. It's so fucking good, and that's another revenge movie. So I guess I tend to love the revenge, vengeance, like, kind of stuff.
What did your parents think when you were younger and you were like obsessed with Chucky and like?
Oh my god, so my parents didn't let me watch stuff like that, but my friends' alcoholic parents down the street let me watch it all the time. And so I like became obsessed with horror movies because I watched them at my friend's house, but then I'd be terrified, unable to sleep all the time, you know, like freaking out about the children of the fucking corn and roaches coming out of my throat. But it kind of like, I feel like it helped me to overcome my fears, but it definitely made me a little twisted and demented and very sinister in a way.
Yeah, what kind of person has like being a huge horror fan made you? Like,
I don't know how to answer that, because I sometimes feel like horror movies, like every now and then I'm like, fuck, horror movies are giving people crazy fucked up ideas and putting these crazy ideas into our heads, but then, like, I think it was Wes Craven who said, you know, horror doesn't create fear, it releases it. So it's like, to a certain extent, it kind of helps you overcome your fears in a way, I think. So, I don't know what type of person that would make me. I think I'm a really good person naturally, but I'm really fucking twisted, and I love to talk about disgusting, bloody things and, like, really fucked up shit, and I love hearing fucked up stories, and, you know, I don't know what kind of person, maybe a fucked up person.
that was like the perfect answer to that question. That was great. If you could meet any horror character, who would it be and why?
Horror character is in the actor or
No,
the character
like
itself?
The character in the movie.
Oh, shit. That's a really great question. Let me think about this for a second. Andy from Chucky, from Child's Play, because he's like such a tormented soul, and it's like so sad. He's like, Chucky's gonna get me! And nobody believes him. I love it. So I'd want to meet Andy and see what he's like as an adult, right? Because he's probably super fucked up and demented too.
Because no one believed him. I feel like that was always the scariest thing in horror.
Yes!
Like,
No, when no one believes
no
you.
one believes you, and like you're right.
I feel like I'm most terrified of, like, the shit that, like, a normal human isn't terrified of, too. Like, I'm more terrified of, like, somebody's evil spirit coming back into a doll and fucking killing me, you know, or, like, any kind of demonic, like, evil shit. And I think, like, horror invokes your primal fears, you know? So it's, like, I think most people, their biggest fear, whether they, like, can admit it or not, would be, like, you know, losing their life. So in that moment, you're fight or flight. You're like, when you have, you know, your life is about to be over, it's interesting to see, like, what kind of reactions you would have, you know what I mean? But it, you know, it releases adrenaline and dopamine and all these endorphins that just make you feel awesome.
One more question. Why would you be the perfect scream queen?
I think I would be the perfect scream queen because I embody horror, like the fact that I had all this shit to put on today. I was like, oh, what kind of horror stuff do I have? Just threw it on. I love doing like stage makeup and stuff. I love playing a zombie. I love playing a vampire. I love playing any kind of like monster, creature, or dark, vengeful revenge victim or anything. And I just embody horror. I love the horror movies. I love everything about it. I'm like that person who's up at 3 a.m. every morning because it's the fucking witching hour and I'm like afraid of demonic things. It's like my one superstition. I don't believe in superstitions, but I believe in like the evil hour, even though I don't know if it's real or not. But I just embody horror. I just am a horrific person. And not horrific in like a bad way, but like, you know, I'm a scream queen. Like everybody who I told about this interview was like, oh my God, this is you! They better pick you! So I just think it fits me.